Okay then guys, we are back. We've got loads to go over today as we've just received a new patch update coming in from Embark Studios for Ark Raiders, and this one is the patch notes for 1.18.0. This essentially is just a few fixes and changes that they've actually had, and unfortunately a blueprint nerf from the caches inside of the first wave caches on Hurricane. We're going to take a look over everything that you guys need to know and give you the details, but yeah, it seems to be that Ark Raiders is getting nerfed just quite a lot at the moment. Let's see what it is that's going on. If you haven't already, smash the beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, make sure you check out our incredible sponsor, GamerSupps, the company that offer esports athletes and gamers alike with the most effective and healthy energy drink option. And we've got new bundles dropping all of the time. So use code CloudPlays at checkout for a cheeky discount. Link in the description. On top of that, we're giving away a copy of the game. If you want to get involved with it, it's very, very simple. Head down to the comments and put any coloured love heart and it'll enter you in. I'll be posting up on the Discord the winner to this tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned to the Discord link in the description. Let's dive into the game and see what's happening right now inside of Ark Raiders. So the last 24 hours have been interesting enough as is, with the expedition now going into play, everybody running around in circles trying to get the levels back up and get their blueprints recollected, or trying to transfer them correctly. It's been an absolute nightmare, although yesterday I actually managed to pull out the Wolfpack blueprint and on top of that a Bobcat blueprint. Was really, really happy with those. I can't craft any of them just yet, but nonetheless, the blueprints were still quite nice. But we have had a reset inside of this and an update that's going alongside it to essentially give you guys a bit more of a nightmare while you're on your level up. Right here, we've got a few things that they have fixed. The first one is where they fixed an exploit that allowed players to put weapons in a safe pocket without the safekeeper augment. Bit of a weird one. Didn't even know it existed. Kinda wish I did. But anyway, it's fixed now. It's gone. The next one right here is that they fixed an issue that allowed players to put the snaphook into safe pocket while in use. Now, I know that a lot of people have been using this primarily on PC, as it really helps them utilize the snaphook, but then switch it back out. And they tried to rectify it once before. Apparently, there was still a way around it, so they've now rectified it again so that you can't snap hook and then whack it straight into the safe pocket and still utilize it. Overall, it's a decent change, but I know a lot of PC players will be peeved with that one. Moving on from that, they've also lowered the drop rate of rare blueprints, slightly raised the drop rate for higher tier materials in first wave caches on the Hurricane map condition. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are aware of the amount of blueprints that we had dropping inside of those things. They're not completely easy to find, but if you dedicate yourself to being able to look for them, you can still come out with 2 or 3 blueprints each time regardless. And this was an interesting take. What it is that the devs actually stated on here on their dev notes was that the main reason for this change is that the dev first wave caches have been handing out a lot of blueprints, especially given how good players have been at tracking them down and looting them. To help balance that out, we're bumping up the drop rates for the higher tier materials inside of the caches. So while you might see a few fewer blueprints overall, you'll be getting better materials in return. Caches will still be a solid way to find blueprints, just not to the point where you can reliably walk away from every session with 3 to 5 of them. Now, I do think that that is absolutely fair, although I just hate that they do this after an expedition. Just give it a few days, man. Just give it a few days and let it run through. Although it is getting a little bit out of hand. As you can see, this person right here states, playing 3 hours of Hurricane after reset be like 4 Bobcats, 4 Tempests, and 3 Vita Sprays, a Volcano. It's a little bit crazy. It was a little bit crazy anyway. Now it's updated. It's no longer going to be. But yeah, that is why they have done that. And I think that it's a viable change. I just wish that they would start buffing a few things. These nerfs are viable, but I am getting a little tired of reading out the nerfs, man. Give me something in terms of a buff, please. Moving on from that, they've added a very hot fix for the damn controlled access zone. They've also fixed an issue where some Ark would occasionally cause performance drops. They fixed an issue where the final stage of the quest, Worth Your Salt, could not be completed if someone else had already done it in the same raid, which is wild to me, to be completely honest. Absolutely wild. They also fixed a rare issue where players would crash when navigating to the player proximity menu, also being fixed. Overall, just a bit of a quality of life change where they've just altered a few things. The nerf to me was gutting. I don't think that it was the right time for it. Although I understand the reasoning, I don't think it was the right time for it. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think to this patch update and whether you think that they made the right choice in doing what they are doing. Nonetheless, moving on from that, they did have a merch store restock in the last 24 hours. And after taking a look over on there, they've actually jumped up their new gear in terms of the Ark Raiders stuff. You guys can actually go ahead and go and buy that all quite comfortably, to be completely honest with you. It doesn't seem like anything is really sold out. So I don't know if people have now settled on what it is that they're doing, but you can actually go ahead and purchase your your sizes over there. There is actually plenty for you guys to go ahead and get. So yeah, go ahead and check those out. I've got pretty much all of it, and I can tell you it's really, really comfy. Anywho, moving on from that one, we've also got to take a look at how it is the game is performing right now, as obviously Marathon's server slam has now altered and now switched back off until their full launch in just a couple of days' time. Now, it didn't do overly well, although it did do somewhat. It does seem to at least have a part of the player base from Arc Raiders, as the numbers did drop down to a 180 in terms of the lowest player count in a 24-hour period that we've seen since launch. And now that it's switched back off, we're back up to 250,000. It's kind of hilarious to see how it is that the gaming world genuinely operates. I think right now Arc Raiders is going to be absolutely secured in its positioning inside of this game, and I think that they've done an incredible job of what it is that they've issued out. Unfortunately, we've now got to wait to see what it is that they do next, and I'm really hoping the next rebalance isn't just a nerf. They need to start bringing some of these things up as well as dropping these things down. That's just my 2 cents. Now, obviously, we know full well there is going to be another nerf in the works, as if we take a look over on the Discord, the beautiful Embarkosen has been responding to some of your questions, of which somebody actually asked if the Toro is still going to be nerfed, as people have already mentioned that it would be inside of the development team, and Embark stated that the team is always looking at weapon balancing, it just takes time, so I'd think that the Toro is likely to take its hit next week. There's not been a full clarification on it, but fingers crossed they have some sort of different balance up that genuinely goes the way that it needs to go. I think the game's got a lot of potential in where it could actually lead to and how it is that the meta plays out, but they need to realize that meta is always going to be there. You can never make it a universal play out. It's just pretty much impossible when it comes to the PvP aspect. That's just the truth. You can't make it a Helldivers, man. You've put PvP in it. There's always going to be a meta. Nonetheless, we did speak yesterday about the latest expedition, as there has been a lot that's been happening inside of the game, and you guys are now grinding back out. I've been excited, actually, as this was my first expedition that I actually went through. I did figure if anything was going to go wrong, it would be on the first expedition. Now we're playing catch up and we're on the second one, making our first wave through. And a lot of you guys seem to have said the same thing, although there was some comments made in the previous video that we want to take a look at. This first one right here states that you can search containers after other people search them. Now, obviously, there was a bit of a miscommunication on that basis. There are a few things inside of the game that once you empty them out, you can then no longer search them, such as bodies and stuff like that. And some of the Ark obviously do the same thing. If you take out all of the Ark, you search them, it obviously eradicates it. There was just a bit of a miscommunication on that one. That is completely my bad. 100% if you are in Stella Montis doing the searches over in medical, you'll be able to just run around, whether they're loaded up with loot or empty, you should be able to then still search them anyway. Makes no difference in that regard. Your point system will still build up. This next one right here coming from Tony D states, I got a little emotional watching the expedition scene with my stats rolling by showing all I had accomplished. Excited for the reset. Let's go. Now that for me is exactly the same. I've tried to make it so that each one of my characters in an expedition has a completely different personality, a completely different identity. In the last one, you will have noticed that up until this point, we have been running a female character here on the Cloud Players channel the entire time. Well, now she has run off into the sunset. We've now got the Cloud male character ready to jump on in and start causing havoc. So I'm excited to see what it is that this reset is going to bring, and it appears that some of you guys are as well. As this person stated right here, Demon's World, first expedition for me, very refreshing to hit the reset button. Good luck, Raiders. Now, actually, I jumped in with absolutely nothing. I didn't transfer any blueprints. I just wanted to grind it all from the beginning and see how it actually felt. So far, we're actually doing okay. Taking a look at my actual game itself, we managed to get 8 blueprints in the first few hours of play. It seems to be running quite well, quite smoothly, and it's really, really nice to actually be getting blueprints again and looking at them thinking, oh my god, I need that one. Do you know what I mean? It's just that need to really want to progress, and I think that that's where the cap hits and the expeditions genuinely do help out. We're going to start grinding in for the next one, though, and getting ready for the next expedition, which is going to be due in a few months' time. So let's see what it is that the future brings. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful like button and subscribe with post notifications turned on. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate your faces. Like, subscribe, and as always, you beautiful bastards, I'll see you in the clouds.